Well, it's me again, Margaret, for part two of my vinyl update for the half price books clearance sale. And some random stuff that I've been picking up as well. So unlike me to be random. So first thing I got to show is, here I'll show that after, well I'll just go ahead and show first. This is one of the CDs, this is the only CD that I got at the half price sale. The group called Mamas Ping Pong is the, Mamas plays ping pong, so Mamas is the band, I guess. And the song titles, you know, is obviously in the art too, is what sort of sold it for me, because it's, you know, something I'd never heard of before. There's not really anything on the inside here, but I guess that's lyrics. Is it lyrics? Yeah, lyrics. But see some of the song titles. The first song title, which is a short intro song, it's called Ping Pong with Hong Kong King Kong. There's My Pervert Doppelganger, Professor Schaftenberg. Some of these I'm skipping over here just because of the name. How to Get and Stay Famous. So yeah, I listened to this, and it definitely falls into the cool and strange category, which I was hoping for. And then I also picked up this Eels CD. This is my second CD by the Eels. First one I showed recently, and I liked it a lot, and so I went ahead and picked this one up. This one was at Half Price Books, the store, in the clearance CDs for, I think it was $2 or something. It's well worth $2. And then at FYE this weekend, was it FYE? Yeah. Picked up some used. Some of these are used. Dave Matthews Band, Under the Table and Dreaming. And this is their first one. Has What Would You Say on it. Dancing Nancy's, Ants Marching. I didn't have any Dave Matthews Band. Then I picked this one up too. Crash. Which I think this is their second one. And then this one is just called Before These Crowded Streets. I think that's their third one I picked up. And then this one is, I want to say it's their fourth one. This one's just called Every Day. So yeah, Dave Matthews. I mean, like I said, I didn't have any. So I picked those up for a decent price. Also, when we went to the flea market this past Saturday, one of the guys that we go to that sells records, he also had CDs and t-shirts and stuff. I usually just go through the records, usually the metal ones. But this time I went through a lot more stuff, just about everything, including CDs. I'm glad I went through the CDs because this is the only thing I bought. This is Undressed. It's the German tribute, Kiss tribute to the Unmasked album. It has 16 tracks on it, which is the whole Unmasked album by various groups, and then it also has like 4 what I would consider bonus tracks by different groups than the previous groups, and the same, also some songs from the Unmasked album. And in here it has like a description of the bands, and then there's the little, has a German logo on it, Kiss logo, because you know in Germany they don't have the regular logo. So I listened to some of this, and I like it. I mean, it's Kiss covers, because I really like the differences, and it's the Unmasked album, one of my favorite Kiss albums. So, and then I picked up some some movies here and there. This one I got at FYE, or I guess it's Suncoast. It's the new Blu-ray edition of Psychomania. I watched this yesterday, and I'd seen this movie years ago, and this, you know, is a definite the restoration of this movie. It has quite a few bonus features or special features. And it's a great movie if you haven't seen it. It's a British movie. It's sort of a hybrid of like Easy Rider and Night of the Living Dead. The the motorcycle gang in the movie is called the Living Dead, and it's basically a bunch of kids that more or less kill themselves and then come back as zombies and run amok, wreak havoc. It's not like your traditional zombie movie because they look the same as they did before they died. So it's odd, but you know, it's a cult classic. So if you're interested in that, you see it, pick it up. This, I don't think I'd showed this yet. If I did, I'm going to show it again because it's well worth showing twice. I ordered this off Vinegar Syndrome's website. This is their catalog, spring catalog of film, and it goes through, it has all of their, every title that they've ever released up to this point, and then it also comes with a 3 DVD set of the movie trailers of all of those movies. So there those are, and Vinegar Syndrome has just an enormous amount of grindhouse, B movies, X-rated movies, you know, sort of weird off-the-wall stuff. So yeah, this is 520 minutes of movie trailers. So check out Vinegar Syndrome. Go to their website. They also have Exploitation TV on streaming devices. You might have heard me say that once before. So yeah, definitely worth the price. It's really cheap on their website. Go find it, go buy it. And this I just picked up. We were at Walmart of all places, and I knew about this because I'd seen it when it first came out quite a few months ago. I don't know, I'd say at least 6 months ago. And I meant to get it, didn't get it. Then when I, you know, decided, okay, I got to get this, had the money to get it, whatever, couldn't find it anywhere. You know, I'd been to like 3 or 4 different Walmarts and nobody had it anymore. It's like typical. So we were at Walmart this past weekend. I don't remember. I think it's the Walmart we don't normally go to. And, you know, we're just looking through the DVDs and they had 2 copies of it. It's like, oh my God. The Rudy Ray Moore Dolomite Total Experience box set. They had 2 copies of this, and I spent my last little bit of money that I had on it because I wasn't going to pass it up again because I'll probably never see it again if I did. But this has, I didn't have any of these movies, so there's Disco Godfather, Dolomite, The Human Tornado, Petey Wheatstraw, Rude, Live at the Wetlands, The Legend of Dolomite, Bigger and Badder, and The Dolomite Explosion. So Rudy Ray Moore was actually featured on the cover of one of the issues of Cool and Strange Music magazine. And he reminds me a little bit of the way he speaks and stuff, sort of like Screamin' Jay Hawkins. It's just like that time period, I guess. But this box set here includes, see if I can find it here real quick. Blah, 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 blah. I think this is the only box set, or the only way you can get the Never Before Seen Dolomite Explosion, because that's not on anything else. And seems like there was one of these movies in here that you couldn't get any other way, but it's blaxploitation basically. It's hilariously great. So yeah, if you see this, you're lucky and you better get it. So on to the vinyl, showing all that random stuff, you know, to try to catch up, like I always say. So starting out with, this must be Evie's first album. There she is under the umbrella. My mom used to have an umbrella like that. This one is in her native language, which I'm not sure if it's, I want to say it's Swedish just by, you know, she looks Swedish. And I'd never seen this one before, so it's on Word Records. Um, like I said, these records were at the half price clearance sale, so they were only 50 cents a piece. I got the Osmonds homemade. You know, like I said, I might have some of these Osmonds records already, but you know, it's not unlike me to buy something twice. This one's called Brainstorm. I'm pretty sure I've never seen this one before, so this might be one that is an exception to. And this one has the, no, it doesn't. I was going, yeah, it does. Produced by Mike Curb, which was also the, he had the Mike Curb congregation. And I seen one of the Osmonds records this weekend at flea market that I wanted, and I didn't get it because I don't know why I didn't get it, and really didn't have the money. So when I go back, if it's still there, I'm going to get it. This one is The Fiddling Fool, and you know, that's a great cover. It's got a glare on it because it has the shrink wrap still on it. It's Joe Edwards is The Fiddling Fool, featuring Orange Blossom Special and Little Liza Jane. And this came from the Ernest Tubb record shop right there, which is in Nashville. Does it have the address on here? Yeah, Broadway and Music Valley Drive, Nashville. And we were there, so of course when we were there they didn't have records there. They just had CDs, and I don't know if they even had DVDs there, but this is a black label and you can't see it. So it was originally $7.99 at the Ernest Tubb record shop, and I paid 50 cents for it. And this one looked really awesome. Revelation. They're just all tie-dyed, wrapped in tie-dyed sheets is what it looks like. I mean, they might, no, actually I think they're wearing those. So that looks really cool. If it sounds like it looks, it's going to be good. It's on Mercury Records. It's probably a gospel record by the song titles, and it has like their names here at the bottom, and it has like little symbols of, I guess, I'm assuming that's their zodiac signs. It's hard to tell what that is, really. But, yeah, that's sort of interesting. And then this one is still sealed. Mary Krimble, the Bruise Brothers. And, you know, brand new record for 50 cents. No, I don't know who it is, but that never stopped me before. And it includes a free download card, so you know it's fairly a recent release of some sort. It looks like a straightforward rock band by the instruments displayed. I don't even see it. Oh, it came out in 2014 was the date. So who knows? Might be good, might not be good. And then this one, Cat found this one, Sweet Mud, the Oz and the Ooze. I mean, there's not really a great picture there, but just what it says. Now, the back cover is better than the front, I think. So, you know, there's the mud dripping down on the... let's see, this is a gospel record, which is crazy. Let's All Go Down to the River. I want to say that song was used on Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? First Baptist Church, 1983. As we're listening to Slayer in the background. Mandatory Suicide is the song that's on currently. I'm listening to the Decade of Aggression. Let me close this window here. I get sidetracked real easy. In this record, Hallmark Hall of Fame presents The Littlest Angel. And this is the kid that was in Family Affair, but more notable for me, he was also in Sigmund and the Sea Monsters, which is a Sid and Marty Krofft drug-addled show. But see how this pops up like that? Let's see that again in slow motion. Ta-da! That's really cool. And I don't think I'd seen this movie. I mean, I remember it, but I don't think I ever seen it. And it's got, like, on this side, someone put a little sticker on it. Almost like one of those Be Kind Rewind stickers. And it has Fred Gwynn on here as, I'm assuming, one of the main characters. Cab Calloway is also on this. Connie Stevens, Tony Randall, and then Johnny Whitaker is the Los Angels. So that's really cool, I think. And this one, I was going to see if Kat wanted it, but she didn't want it, so I did. The Andrea True Connection, More. She had a disco hit with this back in the day, probably 76 is when this came out. And she was a porn star previous to making albums. She made other things. This is on Buddha. So that, there's 3 things that sold this record. 1, I like the song. 2, it's on Buddha. And 3, what she used to do as opposed to what she's doing here. Craziness. And then the last one here, I'm pretty sure I'd never seen this in person, but I have seen it online and like weird album covers and such. The Merriest Moog synthesizer plays Christmas favorites, Switched on Santa. That's just a fabulous, wonderful, great, ridiculous, cool, and strange cover. Had to have it. Cy Mann is the artist. So yeah, I buy Christmas records all the time. I show those all the time. They do Tijuana Christmas on here. My favorite Christmas song of all time, The Little Drummer Boy. All the usual stuff, Rudolph. So yeah, that's all I got in this final update and stuff update. Thanks for watching, and please leave me some comments. By the way, today is August 16th, and in 1977 today, Elvis Presley had passed away. And I remember, which was 40 years ago today, I remember exactly where I was at the time. We lived in a trailer court. This was in 77. And I was riding my bicycle through the trailer court. And I was coming around the curb going back to my house. And either someone had told me about Elvis passing away before I got home, or as soon as I got home, my mom told me. But either way, I remember that. That was the first time that I remember a famous person that I knew or was aware of passing away. So that's something that you don't forget a lot of times when someone famous passes away. And then also found out today when I was online, today also in 1956, Bela Lugosi, obviously Count Dracula from the 1931 Dracula movie, one of the Universal monsters, quote-unquote monsters, passed away too on this date in 1956. He was 73. So I just thought I'd throw that out there because, I can. Thanks for watching, commenting. Please subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. You know what I'm saying?